Friends, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show being brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music. And a special thank you to Mr. Stephen Brady. On today's show, we've got an amazing artist, and we cannot wait to start interviewing him. And his name is Jack Watson. And we're going to find out a little bit more about him, what's he's doing right now, and anything going on in the music business for him. And we're gonna find out some pretty cool things about him right now. And so, without any further ado delay, please help me welcome Mr. Jack Watson in the house. What's up, Jack? How are you, friend?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just keeping well, keeping busy, so that's always good.
So,
Always very, very good.
good deal. So, for all of our listeners out there who may or may not have heard about you, can you kind of like share with us how your musical journey began, and what you're doing right now, and what's going on with you at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of all happened out of the blue when I was younger. I was very much into sport. Being in Australia, we have played a lot of different high contact sports over here. And then I had to stop for about 18 months because I had a bit of an accident, broke my leg and all that fun stuff. But from there, it just kind of evolved. I was sitting on the sidelines singing, playing the guitar with all my friends and that, and they all told me I should start doing it. So decided to get some lessons, and from there it's just been onwards and upwards. So I've absolutely loved every single moment of it. I've been lucky enough to tour different places, been to America a couple of times singing, all around Australia singing, and now finally releasing and recording my own music. So it's a very, very exciting time for me. Something that's still very new to me as well. So I'm still learning along the way, but it's been an amazing experience. I have amazing people supporting me in my corner. So I really can't ask for anything more. I'm just sitting here enjoying life, really.
Oh, good deal. So, I heard that you performed in Disneyland.
Yeah, so when I was younger, was able to come over and perform at Disneyland in Anaheim. So I think that's every child's dream. I got to meet all of my favorite characters that I'd been watching on TV. Being able to go backstage, meet all the performers, actually get a feel for the industry that I was getting myself into, really. So it was the most amazing experience. Was able to tick something off my bucket list at a very young age. So very, very grateful for that.
Wow. So you mentioned that you started at a very young age in the music industry. Up to this point, what have you learned, and what do you like so much about it?
Actually, it's just the people I've met, really. I've learned a whole heap in the music industry, but it's just amazing to know that there's an industry out there that everyone knows each other. I mean, I know where I'm from on the Gold Coast in Australia. If you're in the music industry, you know every single other person that's in the music industry. It's absolutely amazing. You can walk down the street, you can see a performer, and it's like, hey, I was with you last week performing. So it's amazing experience just to be able to have a really small community that all supports each other as well. So it's really, really nice to see.
Wow. What's the best advice you've ever gotten as it relates to your music career right now?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know. We get paid to
Yeah,
ask that question.
you're deep. You're digging deep now, but best advice I ever got was, I don't know. It just I think the biggest thing that I found was hard in the last couple of like years was writing and recording my own music. So it really, I think the best advice I ever got was just to keep it going. Like, I mean, I was at a stage where I wanted to just stop. I was never going to write music. I was just going to sing covers for the rest of my life. But I had about three people that were in my corner just supporting me the entire time. And it was just don't stop, because as soon as you stop, you're at that wall where if you stop now, you're not going to make it. But if you just push that tiny little bit extra, you make it over that wall. And I was lucky I had them in my corner. And now I'm sitting here having an interview with you with my new single that I released. So it's really, really exciting.
So let's talk about that new single. I actually had an opportunity to listen to it, and I gotta let you know, on our morning show tomorrow, we're gonna dedicate our morning show to you, and we're gonna actually play that
Oh,
brand new
thank you.
song of yours, and it's gonna open up the Russell K, Alexa, and Shauna morning show tomorrow. So let's talk about that song. How did it come about, and what does your music writing look like?
Um, it was a completely bizarre encounter for that song. I never had any. any really want or like need to feel to go into like almost like a country genre. I've always sung that kind of crooner, that Michael Bublé with. I was originally operatic trained, so I was singing Andre Bocelli, Josh Groban, Pavarotti. That's what I was doing for years and years, and then I walked into the studio and I was able to sit down with two of absolutely amazing artists who I'd really never met before, but they were offering some help, and so I was able to take it. So I sat down in the studio with a gentleman called Alan Caswell and Lindsay Waddington, and so they said, "Do you want to write a song?" So we wrote this song, and it was just missing a few things. We thought it's a good song, but it just was missing too much. It had like a Michael Bublé feel to it, but we wanted to just add something. So we chucked on a steel string, a mandolin, and we just kept on building on it. And we're like, it's really working. We changed the tempo a bit, changed a few of the lyrics around to fit, and now I'm sitting in a country in like a bit of a country genre as well as like that Michael Bublé crooner feel to it. So yeah, it's a really just it came out of absolutely nowhere. Had no plans for that, but I mean the best things in life you don't plan for. So
That's awesome. As I mentioned, I absolutely love that song. So yeah, great job on that song. It sounds really, really good.
thank you, thank you.
Are there any artists that you look up to? Who are they and why?
I mean I had a few when I was younger. My first artist that I ever looked up to was Frankie Valli. I know being a young boy at the time, no one would have ever thought that I would even know who Frankie Valli was or who the Four Seasons were. But it was always like my dream. I had great parents who brought me up on great music, so I used to sit in my room listening to Frankie Valli, listening to all that kind of like the old Motown stuff as well. Like you got your Michael Jackson, your Al Green. It's just absolutely amazing. I loved that style of music, so I got brought up on that style of music, and so I think when I started, I looked up to more of those artists, and then as I got older, and I was like, oh, I like this. I like all the new stuff as well. It was I fell in love with Bruno Mars's music. Absolutely loved his and his style, and I think that was very similar to what I was listening to already. So I think my biggest like inspirations when I was starting was that Bruno Mars, um, Frankie Valli, the Four Seasons. It was a bit of a mix. And then when I started actually singing properly, it started turning a little bit when I got into the more classical music, musical theatre, all of that. So I started like looking more at Lin-Manuel Miranda, Pavarotti, Josh Groban, and it just grew from there as well. So I have a very broad perspective on who I love as an artist and that. So I think that's what I love most about it is that it's so different that they all work together almost in my mind at least. Everything kind of works together, and it's I've been able to find like myself as a little as like an artist in between all those styles.
That's awesome. I love hearing you say that. What is your thought about music today compared to like the Frankie Valley days? Fast forward to the music of today. What are your thoughts about the music? Do you like it? You don't like it? What is your
It's
thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love it still. I mean, I'm still listening. Like, if you look at my playlist that I listen to on Spotify, they're completely different. So, I mean, I love the music today. But the older music, it felt more natural for me almost. So, I've always liked that just a little bit more. I don't know why. It was just me. But I mean, you can't if Ed Sheeran came on, I know the words to every one of his songs. It's like I still love that kind of music, but yeah, I think that the older music, Frankie Valli and all that, will still always have a special spot in my heart.
Yeah, I love hearing you say that because a lot of younger people nowadays are actually listening more to older music than the current music of today. In fact, if you actually listen to current music, I mean, you can probably hear a few one-liners of old school music mixed into their songs, and
Yeah,
so you can kind of see that happening right now.
yeah, no, a lot of it. I mean, I listen to my favorite artist at the moment is a girl named Leve, who almost has like a really jazz, like very slow, like almost like a Um, I don't know, like a Nora Jones feel to it, mixed with like maybe a little bit of like an Etta James feel almost. And it's really cool to see that someone in this day and age is still doing that style of music.
What's the biggest crowd you ever played in front of, and how did you feel when you walked on stage?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think the biggest one I ever did live performance was about 10,000 people. And that was I can't even remember it because I just blanked out. I think as soon as I walked on stage, I was so nervous. It was a Christmas carols in the park, and I walked up on stage and just saw just like a crowd of people out in front of me, and I couldn't even see the back of it. So I stood up there, and I think I stood there for about 3 seconds, not moving, just taking it in, and then I just like blacked out, did the performance, walked off stage, and I was as happy as I could ever be. It was the most amazing thing. It's completely different feel when you're up on that stage with all those people watching.
Do you do any any pre rituals before you go live on stage? Do you do anything like special?
I'm probably one of the worst people when it comes to the pre-shows. Everyone talks about how they do their warm-ups for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, they're all drinking their teas and all that. I sit side stage just asking people questions. You could find me just sitting side. I wouldn't get side stage to like 10 minutes before the show or something. I'll walk in, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do this, perfect, walk out on stage. And that's just me. I don't have any rituals that I have to do before the show. I guess it's more just I just look forward to being on that stage. Once I'm on there, I'm in my zone. I feel natural. I don't feel like I need to do anything to really show what like who I am because it's already showing. It's just like that's where I want to be. It's where natural place I feel.
Wow. So, what do you have in plans right now for your in your musical career right now? You got anything going on right now that you can share with us?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a few things in the pipeline. We're just working on our on the second song now, so we've just finished that. We just got a few more parts to record, just waiting on different musicians to become available because it's such a busy period over Christmas time. It's probably one of the worst times to try and write a song, but it's really exciting. I mean, we've pretty much laid down everything, and we're looking to release that hopefully in January. So we'll take that down to I'm going down to the Tamworth Country Music Festival, which is really exciting. My first time down there to meet everyone and meet a whole bunch of new people. So I'm really excited for that. It's probably my highlight coming into next year. And then other than that, we've got about two more songs in the pipeline that we're working on at the moment as well. So at this stage, my next year is just going to be trying to write as much as I can, release as much as I can, try and just because I'm still very new in the country music scene as well. So I kind of want to break into it a little bit more, and just meet everyone I can and see what happens over the next year. I'm not planning really anything. I just want to go with the flow and just see where it takes me. Um, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's in store for this next year.
Have you met anybody famous?
I have met a few people. I've been lucky enough to meet a few people. I can still remember going to the store and Guy Sebastian was standing next to me in the line and that, so I got to meet him a couple of times. I got a couple of friends over in America when I was over there. I got to meet different people. I met the mama of Dance Mums. That was crazy. She was completely different to what she's like on the TV. She's actually a very lovely lady. She stopped. I had photos talking to her for a while. So lovely lady. But yeah, I've been lucky enough to meet some pretty amazing people.
What do you love most about the music industry?
It's just it's weird. It's a weird feeling. Like when you're in the music industry, it's a very weird feeling to anything else. It was just it's like it's hard to explain, I guess. There's nothing like really like it. I suppose it's almost like you go there's someone there always to support you no matter what. I mean, you could get sick for a show and all you have to do is just send a text out. Someone's like, I got your back. I'll jump in there. It's almost like everyone works at the same place. It's really lovely. You need help with something. Someone's always there to jump in and say, hey, I can help you with this. My gear's broken. I need someone to lend me something. Yep, no problem. Call up and someone's there to help you. It's a really lovely industry to be in. I know that, well, my experience so far has just been I've been very lucky with the people that I've met, with the people I can call my friends in this industry as well. They always have my back no matter what.
Yeah, I love hearing you say it because I've been in the music industry for a while now, and a lot of what you're saying is so true. you're going to meet people that you may have never had the opportunity to meet. And, when you meet those people, they're lifelong friends and they're always going to be there for you. And, it's all about, set up your network and just keep it growing and get your name out there and just keep on plugging away and getting to where you want to be. And would
Yeah.
you agree with that statement?
I would 100% agree with that statement. It's a really nice. I know a lot of people they say that they have such bad experiences and all this, and it's like I suppose you kind of have to put yourself there as well. If you're not willing to give out what other people want to give out as well, it's just there's always a couple of people that you're like, oh yeah, there's a bit of a black sheep, but in the end, they always come around and it always turns into a family no matter what. I mean, something happens, we're always going to be there to pick everyone back up. So it's a really nice.
Yeah, I totally agree. The music business is all about perseverance, overcoming,
Yeah,
sticking to your game plan, perseverance, showing people that you're serious about the industry, that you really want to make it a career. And when people pick up on that, they're always going to be there for you. Kind of like what you talked about earlier. Would you
yeah,
agree?
100%. I would agree 100% with that one.
How can people get in contact with you, whether to book you or to maybe to listen and buy your music?
Yeah, so I got my website. I've just finished setting all that up properly now. It was a little bit of a gray area there. I had no idea what I was doing, so I finally finished setting up that. So it's just jackwatsonmusic.com. So you're able to go on there. It will give you a link that you can stream or buy my music. It gives you anything you want to fill out. If you want to get in contact with me, you can text me through my social medias as well if you want to. It's just Jack Watson Music on absolutely everything.
Awesome. Outside of music, do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, so I love cooking. That's probably my
Really?
biggest
So you're a
hobby. Yeah,
chef?
so I was a chef for a few years. I've been working in hospitality for about 11 years now, since I was 12 years old. So it's been absolutely amazing. I've been lucky enough to be able to mix my music and hospitality together. I was a scene chef for about 6 years, so I used to cook in the kitchen for a few hours, jump out, sing one or two songs, and surprise the customers, and then jump back in the kitchen and start cooking again. So it's been a very different experience to what a lot of people start out in the music industry as well. So it was a lot of fun though. It was a lot of fun. I learned so much over my time working there.
What did you like most about it?
Um, I just love the experience. I mean, I'm a very high I work very well under stress, and I think that's why I fell in love with hospitality because it's so you're just constantly under stress and you're constantly wanting to please people. And I mean, you do the same in music. If someone else is happy, I'm happy that I was able to bring them that joy kind of thing. And that's the same with hospitality. It's the same feeling all over. So it was just amazing to be able to mix the two things that I fell in love with as well. So I mean, nothing goes better than food, wine, and music, really.
Oh, my girlfriend would love you. That's exactly what she loves.
Perfect.
And she'll be watching probably she's not watching now, she'll watch a little bit later, but she's a wine, she loves food and she's a wine and she's a great cook. Probably not as good as
It
you, but
goes
hey.
hand in hand. That's all I can say. So.
What's your favorite dish? So, I mean, if you have one dish to brag about, what would
Ooh.
that dish be?
Well, I mean, I was a pizza chef, so I mean, I love my pizzas. I was trained under a couple of different gentlemen from Italy, so it was really lovely to be able to learn the traditional ways of the pizza making that they got brought up in their family. So if I had to brag about one dish, it would be I can make a good pizza. So
I'm gonna give you my address so you send us some frozen pizzas so we can
when I'm in
eat them
America
live
next,
on the show here.
I'll come and make some for you.
If you had one thing to change about the music industry, what would that be and why?
I had one thing to change, it would probably be I don't know whether it's for the music industry all around the world, but Australia, it's really hard for I guess independent artists to get that recognition without someone backing them or someone or meeting the right person that can go, hey, I know this person and share you. I don't know whether it's a bit different overseas in America, but in Australia, it's very difficult. And if there was one thing I can change, it's just the exposure or how hard it is to get exposure over here. I know so many of my friends who started off in music and have given up now because they weren't able to find that support that they needed. Um, and it's really, really sad to see because some of them are just absolutely amazing, amazing artists. I mean, I look at myself as very, very lucky because there's some people out there that I know they can write better songs, they can sing better. It's just they didn't get that chance that I got. So if I had to change one thing, it would just be able to go out and just look at all the independent artists because there's some out there that are just absolutely phenomenal and they write some of the best music I've ever heard, but it just never got up and out of the where they were.
What advice would you share with them so they can maybe try to get up to where you are right now today?
The best advice would just be just go out and meet people. I spent probably 5 years wherever there was music, I would go up and I'd go and meet the person who was doing the music. I just put your foot in every single door and never close any or burn any bridges. It's the worst thing you can do because you never know what's going to happen in the long run. If that person ends up doing something and they're like, "Hey, I need a musician," you're only a phone call away. And if they can remember you, and that's probably the best thing that I was able to do is that I the whole reason I got into songwriting was because the person who I met 4 years ago was like, "Hey, I got a free studio and we're looking for someone new to write songs with. Do you want to come up?" And it was just, it's one of those experiences. And I was just very fortunate to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I love hearing you say that because that's normally how people get their foot in the door, being at the right place at the right time. And
Yeah.
in the music industry, you only get so many opportunities, right? And it's what you
Yeah.
do with those opportunities. Are you the type of artist you're gonna take the ball and run, or are you gonna be the type of artist you just take the ball and you're gonna be sitting around looking and where do I go from here? And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
It's really hard because you never want to say no to something and you don't know what's going to come out. If you do say no and it turns out to be really, really good, you're never going to know if you don't take it. So just take everything that you can, anything that's given to you, take it and run, really.
Right. Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience this evening?
Um, I don't really know. Anything I'd like
This
to
is a
share?
family show,
Yeah.
so this is an
Yeah.
open forum. So whatever's on your heart, that you got the platform.
I think the main thing just to share is just go out there and support your local music because you never know what's going to happen with them, whether you don't know whether they're only like a week away from giving up or whether they're there to persevere the whole way through. It's just that all they need is that little tiny bit of support to show that someone appreciates what they're doing, and that will go honestly the biggest way with them. And you never know, that's going to inspire them to write the next big hit that ends up number one on the charts or something. So it's really just go out there, support your local talent, and just see what's out there. There's some amazing, amazing musicians out there.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you on that. I mean, we've had opportunity to interview a lot of those artists too, and it's that's one thing I love about this show. We just like yourself, another great artist, and we get the opportunity to meet you and find a little bit more about you and everything. So, we
Thank you.
definitely appreciate you and thank you for hanging out here on the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show, which is brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music, and then special thank you to Mr. Stephen Brady. So, how did Blue Shamrock Music come? How did you and Blue Shamrock Music get together?
Yeah. So Blue Shamrock and I, it was just again, very lucky that the person who I was riding with had worked with them before and was able to give me a contact, and I was able to reach out to Stephen and find out a little bit, and then was able to just say, "Hey, this is what I want to do. This is the song I got. Are you able to help me?" And they were they've been honestly one of the best supports I could ever have in my corner. They've been able to share my music to places I never thought. I mean, I'm sitting here today because of them, so I never thought I could really share my music across the gap, I guess, over to America. It's pretty exciting to hear that people in America are also hearing my music. So it's really, really, I owe them absolutely amazing, amazing people.
Yeah, I would not agree with you more. They're amazing, and they're fun to work with, and they're all about what we are too. Helping the upcoming aspiring artists and get their name out there, get them, as you talk about, get them the exposure, and you never
Yeah.
know who's even watching the show right now, and you never know who's going to be listening to your music, right? So, yeah,
Yeah, I
just
think that's the most
keep on
exciting
going.
part of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'm not stopping anytime soon, so just pumping out as much as I can at the moment.
Good deal. Other than cooking, do you have any other hobbies?
Not. I mean, I play music and I cook pretty much, but um,
Mhm.
there's a few things. I mean, I love getting out for a game of golf. I know it sounds really, really old person of me, but I still love it. But I go and play golf with my mates. I mean, being on the Gold Coast, the beach is right there as well, so you're always finding something new. I hate sitting around. I hate being bored, so I'm always out finding something to do. If I'm not sitting in my room playing my guitar, trying to write something.
That's awesome. So tell us about your family. You have a family, right? So tell us about
Yeah.
them.
It's a really we're a bizarre family. It's a very bizarre family, but I can't love them even more. I mean, we got five. I got two older brothers, and then mum and dad, and you could not find any of us that are similar. It's hilarious. Like, dad owns a kitchen company, mum's a florist and was a surgical vet nurse. My brother is a surgeon and a doctor, and then my other brother is he puts lifts in high rises, and then there's me who's a musician. So we're all completely different, and it works really, really well. It's hilarious. I mean, Christmas time in our home is a bit funny, but you can always find the boys arguing, but but that's just what family does, and I love them the bits. They've been my number one fans since day one. They've always supported me, so it's a really I can't thank them enough for what they've been able to do for me.
One more time, can you please share with us how our listeners can get in contact with you and how they can listen to your amazing music?
Yeah, so it's just my name's Jack Watson, and I run anything through Jack Watson Music. So all my socials are in the same name, Jack Watson Music, on Instagram, Facebook, and then Spotify is just Jack Watson. But if you want to find anything, you can go through my website, jackwatsonmusic.com, and it has absolutely everything. It has my email, even it has my phone number if you want to send me a text or something, go ahead. But it has everything that you need. The links to you can buy and stream my music, and anything is very much appreciated.
So when people listen to your music, what is the message that you're trying to send to them?
I think I've always just if my music is able to make you feel anything, whether it's happiness, whether it's sadness, if it's able to make you feel, it makes me happy. I think that's my biggest message. I don't want to portray any message on someone. It's more I want you to figure out what you get from my music. I want to let you feel what you want to feel. I mean, my first song was written um, about someone who is traveling, who can't get back home to the people who they love, whether it's family, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's your dog, even. I think everyone can interpret it in a different way. So it's really, it's just what you feel about it. And I think that's my main message, is that I want everyone to find what they feel through my music, because it can be different for everyone.
Awesome. What is the funniest thing that ever happened to you while you were on stage or just in the music business as a whole? Did anything like really, really cool happen that you'd like to share with
I mean,
us?
probably the main thing, I never let anyone tell me to break a leg anymore. So, the last time someone told me to break a leg, I did break my leg on stage. So,
Oh
no one tell me to break a leg anymore, please. I can't go through it again.
no.
But so yeah, it's just chookers or good luck now. So
Wow.
yeah, but I think these things happen. So it was a learning experience, to say the least.
That's pretty wild. So as we wind down our show this evening, again on behalf of Blue Shamrock Music and Mr. Stephen Brady and Music Dreams USA Radio, I want to personally thank you. It's so nice to meet you. You're an amazing person, and you have such a bright future ahead of you, and the music is just it's amazing. I can't wait to go in the studios here a little bit later on and put our show together and get you into our show. So thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing your music and learn a
Thank
little
you
bit
for
more
having me
about
here
you.
today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, this ain't
thank
the
you. It's
first
been an
time, it
honor.
won't be the last. We'll definitely see you again.
I'm looking forward to. I want to come back. I'm looking forward to it. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here today. It's lovely to meet you, and yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
So, one final question for you.
Yeah,
Have you ever thought, before you got hooked up with Blue Shamrock Music, right? Did you ever think about maybe getting on some of the, like America's Got Talent, The Voice? Did you ever think about maybe
yeah.
getting into those shows?
I definitely had a bit of a thought about it. I went on Australia's Got Talent when I was a lot younger, but unfortunately, school and different things and different people managing and all that at the time just got in the way. But it was a great great experience. Again, able to meet so many amazing people, and I did look at it this year. Was I was thinking about, do I go on it just to get the experience again and meet all the new people again? But then all this music came about, and I said, well, maybe we'll hold off just for a little bit, and we'll give it a go maybe in the future. But at the moment, there's no plans. I'm just seeing where it takes me, and wherever it takes me, I know I'm going to be happy with it.
Exactly. And if you just say, make sure you say hello to us, okay? Don't forget us.
Oh, I won't. I won't. I'll still be here.
Well, again, thank you so
Oh,
much. It was a pleasure meeting you, and we had so much fun in the interview today. And again, if there's anything you need from us, we're only a phone call away. So we're also going to support
thank
you.
you
We'll
very
continue to play
much.
your music, and yeah, it's a great time here. And any final thoughts before we end our show?
No, it's just thank you for having me. It's been an absolute honor. It's been a pleasure to be here today. It's an honor. It's amazing what you do in supporting music around the world. So I thank you for what you do and being able to give people this opportunity. It's really amazing.
Well, thank you, and that's what we love about the most is we get an opportunity to meet some amazing people just like you. So again, thank you, my friend. All the best
Thank you
as you
very
move
much.
forward,
Thank you.
and yeah, we'll definitely be seeing you soon. Again, that was Mr. Jack Watson, and what an amazing interview we had with our friend from Australia. And again, he was talked about his musical in this his musical journey and his new music coming up. They're working on an album right now, and we found out some pretty cool things about Jack, and we thank him for sharing that with us. And again, special thank you to Blue Shamrock Music and Mr. Stephen Brady, who supplies our music each and every week. So make sure you join us each and every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be here next Wednesday with another amazing artist. Until then, kick back, relax, and thank you so much for watching Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight. Until next time, take care and happy holidays to